life. My parents, grandparents, great-grandparents lived here. Number one rule, don't rent it if you can buy it. These people here are dedicated. Our infrastructure in this village is the best you could ask for. Street departments, police departments, waterworks, fire department. Don't screw with a good thing. If your life depends on $60 damn, you better think about it. Keep it. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. You got to be quick, Bob. Join the club.
Mike Carew, Assistant Chief, Peoria Fire Department. I live at 318 Roseland. I've been a lifelong, since 1964, resident in the Heights. I'll tell you what, again, $5 a month, $60 a year, I'm willing to do that to serve with those paramedics back there who are the best paramedics you could ever be around. I'm fully behind it. I know it's rough. I know we tried the 12 hours and stuff like that, but be forewarned. EMS is not a moneymaker. Never will be.
Thank you, Assistant Chief. Robert?
I'm Bob Spencer, 1420 East Gardner Lane, Peoria Heights. I sat up here, sat over there, and I listened to a lot of comments. I think it's a great idea what you're going to do. It's going to cost me about $260 if it goes by on 100,000. But I'll tell you what, I'll pay that $260 in a heartbeat for what I went through health-wise over the years. 2 years ago, my mother lived down in the OSF, the apartments complex, and then the nursing home. She called me on the phone. She said, Bob, I can't get out of bed. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm going. I called the ambulance department. They beat me there, and I just live on Gardner Lane. Those two young men that got her and carried her out and took her up to the Proctor Hospital treated her like she was their grandmother. And the doctor told me when I got up there, after through the examinations and all, he said, it's a good thing you got your mother up here, because if you hadn't have, she wouldn't be here today. I think I moved in Peoria Heights in 1977. Several years ago, I had the great honor of working with the police department and the fire department and the ambulance department. And I think they're second to none. I think they're the greatest people on earth. They do a hell of a great job. They're very dedicated, and that's what's important. So, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to vote for it. I think it's a great, great idea. I know, you know what, you can always save a few bucks. But when you're sick and you're dying, what's $260? Believe me, you get in that hospital, like I did for 2 weeks, laying on your back and can't move, 27 needles in you. And I lay there and I thought, man, how lucky I am to be able to go home tomorrow. It's well worth doing it, and I'll vote for it.
Thank you, Bob.
Besides, I'm getting old.
Just a kid.
My name is Megan Spears. I live at 3826 North Vincent. I am on Pure Heights ambulance service for 4 years, and I am also on the volunteer fire department. To address some of the concerns that she had, as well as keeping things positive from all my other brothers and sisters that have gotten up here, AMT is a good service. However, we don't come here for the money. You can talk to anybody back there. We all work multiple jobs to make ends meet. I choose to be here for my brothers and sisters, for my loved ones, for a lady walking across the street that fell down. We can be anywhere in the city, 3 to 5 minutes. Yes, I know $60, it does sound like a lot. Yes, we all work very hard for our money, but in that critical situation where your loved one fell down, your loved one's having a heart attack, they're not breathing, would you want to wait the additional time for a good service to get here, or would you want 3 minutes and look at the back of the room, all of us here for you, for those people you love. And I'm just up here, and I am just a kid, but I've been here for 5 years, and I absolutely love it. I don't plan to leave, and I will obviously vote yes. So.
Thank you very much. And of course, my just a kid comment was for Bob there because just a babe in arms. Thank you. Any other questions or comments, concerns?
I won't give my name because of the pending problems that's going on with this. But I'd like to point out, my wife collapsed. The paramedics, which were very good, the bill came, it was $770. Okay. She had to be transferred from Proctor Hospital to St. Francis. The bill for that was $1,805 plus another $64. No explanation what that was all about. Then, I was gone last week and I get this in the mail, that the $1,805 all of a sudden became $1,127.28. No reason for that except when I called today, oh, that's what Medicare would have paid. So we deducted that. So then I look down here on the bottom of this bill and it says payer, Medicare. So now I called today, and like I say, my insurance company's involved, so's the lawyer, to find out what's this all about. The Heights is $700 and some. Now all of a sudden, this is $700 and some. So we get this flyer in the mail, and are we trying to make it all the same level, or is it really true? Okay?
Thank you.
No problem.
Yep.
I have one more comment.
Yeah.
When ATM has a call down below the hill, why do they come all the way up Glen, turn here, and go back to go down the hill? When Bellevue is a shortcut, whatever. Now, that adds to the time of that call to that particular place. Goes on all the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was the first ambulance bill from here, the second from somebody else in Transport? This is the house one. No, that's what you're saying.
No, just for clarification, that the first billing, just for clarification, is that the first billing for the $700 and odd dollars was from Peoria Heights. The second billing, which started around $1,800, was a separate service. Okay, well, I don't want you to think that they're both from Peoria Heights on that. But, okay. Okay. Any other questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Okay, anyone on the board, do you have anything to add, please?
Well, I'd just like to thank everyone for coming out tonight and sharing their opinion. Obviously, that will weigh a great deal on the board's mind. I know, speaking personally, this isn't like the federal or sometimes state government where we are passing decisions that are not going to affect us but affect others. If this referendum is approved and we do decide to continue with the ambulance department, we will all be sharing equally in this with the rest of the residents. And I will say, we are sales tax based. We have nowhere else to grow. And as Mark alluded to earlier, sales tax is flat. So we are at the point now where we need to come up with creative ways to finance the services that we have in place. And this is one such creative way that we can do that. And we really appreciate the public coming out and giving us their opinion. I will say personally that while, you know, I'm in a peak specimen of humanity, no, I'm not by any stretch of the imagination, but I have not had the necessity to use the ambulance department. And so I really, as I say, from that standpoint, have no skin in the game. But I will tell you that since I've been on the board in 2010, which is, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name earlier. Lynn Brown. Ms. Brown, as Ms. Brown said, Scott Owen came up and, you know, really supported disbanding the ambulance department at that time because of the cost, and that's how I ended up on the board. It was with Mr. Owen resigning. But I will tell you, since 2010, in my time on the board, we have had a handful of people that have come to our board meetings to express their gratitude for having the ambulance department and just gushing over the service that they did receive, the promptness of the call, the service that they were provided, and the quickness that they did get to the hospital. And we haven't had any complaints about the ambulance service. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Cumming. I do want to add, nobody on this board and myself, we do not like to add any type of taxes increase. It's tough to do, particularly at the local level. As Trustee Cumming said, at the federal level, it seems like the people out there are more faceless, so they kind of, you know, it's easier to pass it on. I think it pains all of us to say we're at that point, because we face our neighbors who, if this is approved, their property taxes go up. They'll see a line item on there. They'll think, well, what are those people doing up there if they're not managing the money well? But again, what I'm saying is that the cost of this paramedic service has exceeded what we thought. Our revenues have not gone where we had hoped. So we just ask for the community to join us in maintaining our services. Our ambulance service is second to none. Our street department, our volunteer fire department, our police department, all of our services are second to none. We just want to keep it that way. So again, we thank everyone for coming tonight. We appreciate it, and no matter how you feel about it, please vote. And thanks again for coming, and the meeting is now adjourned.